The morning their convoy rolled toward my ranch, the sky was the calmest shade of blue, the kind that makes the world feel peaceful before anything chaotic arrives. I was standing by the old wooden fence, the one my father and grandfather had built with their own hands. The grass shimmered in the sunlight, the wind moved gently through the fields, and my cattle grazed softly in the distance. Out here, everything breathes slower. Out here, land holds memory, but the new HOA bordering my property didn't understand that. They saw land as lines on a map, rules in a binder, power they believed they had earned simply by electing themselves into small offices. And so one morning they came, 3 shiny SUVs rolling down my dirt road as if they owned the dust beneath their tires. Leading them was Karen, the HOA president, with her clipboard pressed against her chest like a shield. She stepped out, looked at my barn, my horses, my home, and spoke with a tone so confident it almost felt rehearsed. She told me I had been found in violation of their regulations, that my barn didn't meet their visual standards, that my livestock created unapproved noise, that my tractors were non-compliant machinery. Then, with an air of finality, she handed me their notice. They were demanding I leave my own ranch within 30 days. I didn't get angry. I didn't raise my voice. I simply asked softly, "And what makes you think you have any authority over this land?" She smiled as if she were doing me a favor. "We regulate this region now. Everything within influence of our community guidelines falls under our control." The silence that followed was calm, beautiful, even. The wind rustled through the tall grass, the sun warmed the earth beneath us, and for a moment it felt like the land itself waited for my answer. I walked inside my home, opened a drawer, and returned with a slim black case. When I opened it, the sunlight caught the polished badge inside, my federal identification, not the kind people wear around for show, the kind that carries weight, the kind that oversees every HOA in the region, their bylaws, their boundaries, their compliance, and their limits. Karen's confident expression melted as quickly as ice in the summer sun. The board members behind her shifted nervously, their clipboards suddenly feeling too heavy. I spoke softly but clearly. I explained their mistakes. Their boundaries overstepped, their notices invalid. Their attempt to regulate land they had absolutely no legal claim to unlawful. And I told them something they never expected to hear, that their HOA would now undergo a full federal review. Karen tried to speak, but the words wouldn't form. The others lowered their eyes. The wind carried the quiet across the fields. By the time the sun began setting behind the hills, their SUV were gone, leaving only dust hanging briefly in the golden light. My ranch stood silent and steady once again, untouched, unchanged, rooted deeply in history and heart. They tried to remove me from my own land. They didn't know I was the one entrusted to protect every landowner from people exactly like them.